The program is held this morning on ITV. Is straight to the first talking point, where we're going to be looking at the aviation, the role of aviation development, and the role of Faan in securing Nigerians' airspace, if I should use that word. And the profile you see on the screen is that of your regular aviation expert. Permitting they won't call you Dr. Gordon Ike.
Oh no, don't do that to me.
No, because you are one man who is a pilot and you're teaching pilot.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that has been said in many quarters.
Oh wow.
Okay, Mr. Gordon Ike, he's a licensed estate surveyor and valuer, an aviation freak, and by virtue of ICAO 2017, he was made an aviation expert. And we are going to be dealing with what you have on the screen, the role of Faan in developing Nigerian aviation. Very good morning.
Hi, good morning.
You're welcome. I must say you look good.
I do.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So I thought I was going to get more money.
Yeah.
Okay.
A very quick one before we go into that is what the Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, did at the weekend when he raised a Sabah statue to that of international standard. How do you feel about that?
Good news. We should do more of those. Every section of the country has its own comparative advantage. And as a nation, we haven't really taken enough advantage of our diversity. And it was because those who ran the affairs of this nation previously probably, had little minds. And now that we have large-minded individuals, taking charge, I begin to think differently. If Honorable Minister Hadi Sirika had been one of the, or if he had been one of the little-minded ones, he would never have considered doing what he did there. And so I say kudos to him. I say keep it up. That's exactly what we're talking about. We're not really, Nigerians are not really worried about who holds what, but they want people to go out there and get the job done. And there's so much, as you're going to find, today, the awesome power of Faan and all the opportunities available that you would wonder, why didn't somebody, say 20 years ago, start a process that should have made Nigeria a major hub today? The whole of Africa would have been revolving around Nigeria by today, had somebody done something well some couple of years back. But it's never too late to start. If we start right now, we'll get there, and very quickly.
But what does it entail, raising an airport, to international status,
Of course, the economic...
Those that are not experts may not know what that means.
No, the economic activities in those, areas and that zone will simply, jump into the skies right away. It's a gateway to the world. So the world can come straight to Asaba without having to pass through Lagos. You remember when we did, the episode of, having airports in the designated airports in the northeast, in the north, northwest, in the south, and you remember we did the whole of that people shouldn't be traveling by road all the way from Kano or from Katsina or from Maiduguri or from Sokoto to get to Abuja before they have a gateway out of Nigeria. You remember we did all those. So I guess the minister is listening. I guess he's listening, and he's beginning to put words into action, and so that's what we are seeing. And then for the Asaba stuff, trade and investment will jump into the skies immediately, because you find people who are now encouraged to engage even in export activities, and those that will engage in import activities, and then the airport will get quite busy.
To what extent is that address the issue of unemployment?
A whole lot. A whole lot. As a matter of fact, you can't count the job that singular move would have created. A whole lot of jobs have been instantly created, and people will just gradually be seeping in. And it's not just job as in white collar job. People being their own masters because they have one thing or the other to offer and one thing or the other to do. It's the biggest thing, the biggest news we've had in recent times. And I say congratulations, and I ask him to do much more because, as a matter of fact, with the aviation sector, we haven't scratched the surface. We're just starting. We haven't scratched the surface. There's so much to do.
Okay, many kudos to the aviation minister, Hadi Sirika, for taking that giant move, raising Asaba Airport to an international status. We just hope that those in that axis, those in that region will also complement that gesture.
Oh, yeah.
It should not be a zone where people will be scared of.
And it's a quick compensation for the unnecessary, if you ask me, because we should have been proactive. We should have built a second runway long ago at Enugu, for instance. So it will very quickly compensate for the shutting down of Enugu Airport. But you can imagine when eventually Enugu comes back on stream and it has its own international status, and then they can negotiate with some of the airlines, give them good conditions, and then encourage them to come in there. Have specific flights designated, not ones that will land at one airport and leave the airport and do local flight to yet another. That's what Minister Hadi Sirika must never accept. Any airline that wants to get more slots, it has to be direct. Your home country to that particular slot and back to your home country. Not come in here and run local flight and take away business from our local airlines. That shouldn't be allowed. So, good news.
Okay, quickly. Now
on the right path.
Let's get
on the right path.
Clip on the topic for today.
We're still dealing with aviation development in Nigeria and the role of Faan in managing and securing Nigerian airports. We're doing part 3 today. It's such a huge and awesome topic, and we'll keep on going on with it until
so can we have the first
done.
clip on the
Clip
screen?
1, please. Here we go, Joe. Sources of revenue for Faan continues. Remember, this was our clip 6. I thought I should refresh the memories of our viewers and then take it on from there. So clip 6 is now appearing today as clip 1 for part 3. Now, sources of revenue for Faan continues are all other sums that may accrue to or as may be received by the authority in the exercise of its functions and activities under this Act. Such monies as may from time to time be allocated to it by the federal government of Nigeria. Above mentioned monies comprising the fund of the authority shall in each year be applied by it in defraying the following expenses. 1. The working and establishment expenses and expenditure on or provision for the maintenance and renewal of any of the undertakings of the authority. Excuse me. 2. The interest on any loan raised by the authority. 3. The sums required to be transferred to a sinking fund or otherwise set aside for the purpose of making provision for the payment of any other borrowed money. Fund is even allowed to create a sinking fund, and put away money, for the rainy day. That's wonderful. And number 4, the remuneration, fees, and allowances of the members of the board, and for reimbursing members of the board in accordance with such rates as may, from time to time, be approved.
The sinking fund created by Faan,
by the government of Nigeria.
Yeah, they also allowed to, invest the fund so that it can yield some So
That's what makes sense. If they have the right professionals in the finance and account department, it makes sense that when they accumulate huge sums of money in the sinking fund, they have them invested and aim and grow the money, and then on a rainy day, you see, also the federal government needs to allow some level of flexibility, even when you have such light on the board, starting from the managing director and the rest of them. Make sure they are doing the right things and they are not, uploading contract figures and stuff. Faan has the capability of engaging all the banks in Nigeria simultaneously, getting things developed and done non-stop, earning money and paying their loans and interest, and getting the economy running. That is the meaning of running on an economy, Joe. It's not about keeping money dormant and keeping, being docile and waiting for the day somebody gives you an instruction, okay, do that, and you do, and you wait again. No, they should be proactive. And I hope that if there are some people tying rope on their waist and pulling them back, they should please let go of those ropes and allow people to flow and get this job done. Okay? All right. Let's go to clip 2 very quickly. Clip 2. Here we go, Joe. Expenses that can be defrayed from the funds of the authority continue. 5. The salaries, fees, remuneration, pensions, superannuation allowances, superannuation allowances and gratuities of the employees, agents, and other persons acting under or for the authority. Those are some of the things that can be done with the monies aimed by the authority. That's a Faan. Number 6. Any other expenses connected with the discharge of the functions of the authority under this Act or any other enactment. The Act also provides that the authority shall submit annually to the minister estimates of his revenue and expenditure in respect of the next year.
This is commendable because that's a whole lot of gap when it comes to government agencies.
Yeah.
Some agencies under a particular ministry believe that they are on their own.
That's correct.
And that's why we see so much disagreement between a minister and, say, a DG or an executive secretary.
Oh, yeah, but it has a flip side.
We saw that in the administration.
That's right.
Where the executive secretary of NHIS
That's
had
correct.
issue with Professor Adewale.
That's correct.
And then same with Gwarzo and Kenya Ajos of SEC. Gwarzo of SEC and Kenya Ajos.
As a matter of fact, those laws are there.
There's a mechanism that says you must submit your report to the minister.
I can bet you, Joe, I've read a lot of laws setting up most of these agencies. This clause is always there. People just take laws into their hands, and it has a flip side. If you also have a minister that lacks understanding, he uses that to tie rope around your waist and prevent you from performing. And if you are zealous and desirous of really getting the job done, and somebody has tied a rope on your waist using a piece of legislation and pulling you backwards, the likelihood is that it gets up here and
the person resigns.
Why would you resign? You kick, you get the job done. I mean, and that brings the friction in question. So that flip side of it makes it, the only thing that makes sense is all parties to understand that this is service to Nigerians. That's why they are called public service as against civil service. So once that is understood, then all hands must be on deck for the service of Nigerians, and that's what makes sense. So I am not holding a brief for the minister, neither am I holding brief for the chief executives of these agencies. I'm saying let there be synergy, let them have understanding and work for Nigerians. That's the only thing that makes sense. Any other thing is nonsensical. All right. Can we go to clip 3 quickly? Are we there? Here we go, Joe. Faan and the aviation roadmap. Listen to this, and you'll be excited. Based on the Nigerian aviation sector master plan, Faan published his vision to read. Listen to the Faan's vision. To be a world-class provider of safe, secure, and comfortable air transport sector that is self-sustaining and pivotal to socio-economic growth. And you want to ask, has that happened yet? And its mission reads thus: to transform the aviation industry into an efficient, profitable, self-sustaining, effective, and a preferred mode of transportation. So those are the vision and mission of Faan. Now, objectives of the aviation master plan. A, institutionalizing safety and security to world-class standards. B, reform of aviation institutions. C, development of aviation infrastructure. D, development of airport cities and transformation of airports into major employment, shopping, trading, business, leisure, and cargo village destinations. Can we move to clip 4, please? Here we go, Joe. Objectives of the aviation master plan continue. E, transformation of Nigerian airports network into domestic and international hubs. We still haven't achieved any of them.
Just like what the minister did.
Well, we're starting now, and may God help us.
But it's just that no matter how powerful the MD of Faan is, he cannot be able to, upgrade any airport if he has to, lobby
so
the minister.
The law permits Faan. As a matter of fact, Faan is responsible for all the upgrading, or everything that has to do with management of the airport and building whatever you want to build. But what the law is saying is you must present it to the minister. You must reach an agreement with the minister, because it's the minister that will take it for approval from the FEC before you begin to do your procurement and the rest of them. So inevitably, the honorable minister must work in sync with his managing director and the rest of the directorates. They must always agree. Anytime there's a disagreement, it's not the minister that suffers, it's not the directorate that suffers, it's the people of Nigeria that have been denied what they should get. So this should be borne in mind. And if we bear this in mind, then we'll learn to do what is right all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. I said objectives of the aviation master plan continue. The transformation of Nigerian airports network into domestic and international hubs. Designation of economic free zones and airports focused on agricultural activities and other local endowments. G, creating economic free zones as a strategy for rapid growth, inflow of foreign direct investment, employment generation, and maximal utilization of airport infrastructure. H, development of perishable cargo infrastructural facilities. That should happen very quickly in Asaba. This particular one I will just mention should happen very quickly in Asaba, including customs cargo sheds and cooling rooms, etc. I mean, you can imagine when they bring us perishable goods in this place, if the owners don't quickly pick them up, they go bad. And sometimes they sell food poisoning to us, and we consume.
The owners want to clear their goods, but they always encounter, problem when it comes
with the customs and rest of them. Yeah, those are the things that we need to streamline as a nation. Fixing Nigeria, I keep saying to anyone about us to listen to me, fixing Nigeria is as easy as ABC. We just have to set our minds to it, be sincere about it, and we'll fix this nation. and bring back Nigerians as one people and enjoy the benefits of our diversity. That is what we must do immediately. And I can bet you somebody needs to do that very quickly, very quickly. I had an experience in a barber shop yesterday where I made a comment about my own people. As a matter of fact, one individual in that place who happens to come from my area as well took offense, and he was wild about it. He tackled and attacked me. How dare you say that? I said, I am telling the truth. I'm saying our model as a people is a good model. I'm talking about my people, where I come from, but we need to add character to it. I mean, I told the story of how in the past you didn't need to have money to be an importer of goods. All you needed was knowledge and contact with manufacturers abroad, and people abroad were ready and you know, give it
all the goods
free
to sell and pay back.
Sell, bring back, take your profit and bring back the capital. What did the early ones do? They sold 8 capital, 8 profit, killed the credibility required, and today everybody's paying the price and everybody's suffering. And I said, this is the aspect we need to add character to our good model. This guy will never agree, and then I saw how deep this division has become, and somebody must bridge that gap very quickly. Very quickly. It was alarming for me. It was really alarming.
But how would we bridge that gap?
No, that's not the topic of the day.
Yeah, no, but it's important. You know, somehow knowledgeable in these areas. If you have raised this, it's also important that viewers get to know how this thing can be done.
Well,
it's nation building. You have said this severally, that it's a business of everyone.
Yes, it's everyone's business.
According to you, it's not difficult.
It's not difficult.
Yeah,
it's just setting your mind to it and getting it done. Being fair to all, and give you a sense of belonging to all. It's as simple as that. Fair to all, sense of responsibility and sense of belonging. And believe you me, it flows so naturally. I mean, even in a family, if you become discriminatory, definitely one or two of the children will kick, and you begin to have siblings, you know, competing in an unhealthy fashion, and then that family will soon be torn apart. And that's exactly the way it works in a larger field like nation building.
All right. Now,
so I pray and hope that with this gesture, for instance, that the Honorable Minister has made in Asaba, nobody's going to, if he now makes one somewhere in the north, nobody's going to say, he's taking all his interest to the north. Can you see how it works? You can't say that, because he's shown good faith in the area that he doesn't come from. Can you see? So it's easy. ABC. And we'll fix Nigeria and enjoy our diversity and enjoy ourselves as a people. We are endowed. Material, human resources, everything is here.
Okay, moving on. We have
a
few minutes
so
left.
Capacity, well, just 2 more clips and we're out of here. Capacity development, that's I. And increasing professionalism in the industry, and improving staff welfare. Honorable Minister, I hope you're listening to this. Added to the great job you're doing. Now, clip 5, are we there? Good. The organizational structure of Faan. The statutory responsibilities of Faan are carried out by the Managing Director / CEO via 10 directors heading the various directorates of the authority. The directorates include 1. Administration, 2. Legal services, 3. Human resources, 4. Airport operations, 5. Engineering and maintenance, 6. Finance and accounts, 7. Cargo development. Those ones, we need to go and find out what they are doing, because I haven't seen enough of this going on in our airports. Cargo development. 8. Projects. 9. And that of projects, by now we should have been having international airports. I mean hotels. Hotels now in our airports.
To have, you know, some very
that will compete with Transcorp Hilton
in the airport premises.
That's correct.
Close to the airport.
That's correct.
You don't have to travel that far, from airport to
wherever.
city center.
Yeah, yeah. So the project's directorate, no, somebody's going to go there and ask questions. What exactly are you guys doing? And then number 9, aviation security services. I mean, again, those were the ones that created AFSEC, but we're still far away from the mark. Something better can be done. And then number 10, commercial and business development. They're working hard in that department, I can tell you. I know the gentleman that is handling this particular department, and believe you me, he's one of the brightest minds I've ever seen in that sector. Yeah, the gentleman that's handling this commercial department is the brightest mind I've seen. And then let's do quickly clip 6, then you can ask your question in the conclusive part of it.
We have 2 minutes left.
Okay, fair enough. We'll be done. The organizational structure of Faan continues. So in clip 6, we're there. The managing director / CEO, who is responsible to the board of the directors and the Honorable Minister of Aviation, directly supervises the following departments in Faan. These departments are right under the arms of the CEO and MD and CEO, the corporate communications, protocol and passages, internal audit and ICT, customer care, the Servicom, procurement, and board secretariat. Those departments are the MD's baby. And so we are done.
Okay, now just one question before we leave the studio is the clip 5 that you read. You talk about the business development, part. If that is truly honest and we have experts in that department, to what extent will that, contribute to Nigeria's GDP?
A whole lot. If what the aviation sector should have been doing have been done, a quarter of the young people roaming around the streets in Nigeria jobless today will be working. Faan has the capability of, I say that again, with having seen the law and reading it thoroughly and graphically, I can tell you, if somebody chooses in Faan, all the banks existing in Nigeria can be simultaneously engaged by Faan, and Faan can pay. The point is, as you are getting funds and getting the job done, you are raking in money from the multiple sources, and not just multiple sources, liquid sources that meant money for you. You pay. Mindful that we must eschew corruption.
Okay, that is one thing President Muhammadu Buhari will not tolerate, as far as everyone knows, and to develop the Nigerian aviation sector, and of course looking at the role of Faan, someone that rules all of this should be able, government should be able to appoint someone that knows all of this.
Right.
Tackle this issue, to work with all the laws available for Faan, and Nigeria definitely will be better.
Oh yeah.
And so we just have to urge the president
to do what is right.
That man that will be able to put things right in Faan and work in close relationship with the aviation minister. That's what we expect.
That's right.
Okay, we'll take a quick break. When we'll come back, the program this morning on ITV.
By the way, next week, part 4. It's a huge topic. We'll keep doing it until we exhaust it completely.
Yeah, not only exhausting it, but to, of course, get that person or persons that will be able to work, and adhere to the provisions of. Okay, we'll take a quick break. When we'll come back, today, Joe is already around. We're going to be looking at, the implication of a sitting governor, dialoguing with bandits. Stay with us.